Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, and welcome to another episode of Jacob Walks Over a Bridge. I'm Jacob. I'm currently walking over a bridge, and it's season 3 time, baby. That's right, I am back. I'm still walking over bridges. Haven't gotten out of my system just yet. Didn't think I was going to be doing this so soon, but really, I've been walking over bridges even while season 2 and between the hiatus between season 2 and season 3. But here I am doing another recording because I felt like it. Also because I didn't know that SoundCloud automatically renewed your pro account. So I paid money for one more year, so one more season, let's go, why not? Maybe we'll do 3 more after that. Who's telling? But for now, it's season 3, episode 1, The Walk. That's what you could probably call all the episodes. But today, I am on the Manhattan Bridge, walking from Manhattan to Brooklyn. I am on my way to see an apartment. Hold on. Sorry about that. I was playing with the headphone wire and took it out of the ear that has the mic on it. But yeah, I'm going to see apartment. For those of you who remember season 1, all the storylines from season 1, that was one of the things that I did when I was walking over the Queensboro Bridge, was going to see apartments in Manhattan and beyond. But it's time to move again. Surprise, surprise. Trying to get an upgrade, so to speak. I'm looking at a place in a nice neighborhood in Brooklyn, Carroll Gardens, and we'll see if this is the one. I've seen a few apartments already in my hunt for a new place, and they've been so-so. I mean, obviously I haven't found the one yet, but either I've seen a place and it's just way too high up. I'm not about that 5th floor walk-up life. I'm ready to take it a little easier on my knees. So I'm looking for either, something that's short waist up or an elevator, or seeing places that are just way too small, because I'm at the point where I've got a lot of stuff now. If I did this move, if I was moving again from 2 years ago when I didn't have a couch and bookcases and a desk and a bed and everything else a guy can want in an apartment, maybe that wouldn't be such a big deal. But I don't want to move into a dorm room. I'm looking for a real place where I could live. The living room can't just be a kitchen. That's not what I'm looking for. Hard to tell. It's the queue. Yeah, I guess I won't be taking the queue anymore if I move away from Manhattan, or at least from the Upper East Side. Sorry, I keep playing with the mic as I put my mask up and down as I pass people. We're still wearing masks. It's a fun time. Here's a guy on a bike in the pedestrian lane. I'm sure he thinks he's real cool. But enough about him. So the place I'm looking at today has one of the key features that I really am looking forward to in an apartment. It's a washer dryer in it unit. No more trips out of the apartment to do laundry. No more walking a quarter mile just so I can go to the good laundromat. I am ready to invest in a place where I could just roll out of bed and do my laundry in my pajamas. That's the dream. At least, the dream in New York. But yeah. Wow. It's crazy to think how far we've come. If the COVID had never happened and things were normal, there's a good chance I would not have moved out to the apartment I'm in now. Because, it does fit everything. Yes, it doesn't have the washer dryer. Yes, it's the 4th floor of a walk-up. But given the norms that we accepted pre-COVID, it was a pretty good deal that I had for a nice space for a good price. But I don't know. I think COVID helped reassess things, or changed what you think a good deal is these days. I'm also looking to maybe get a pet one day. That also played a factor to the place I am. When I told them I was leaving, they said I could get a cat, but I'm still on the fence whether I'm going to get a cat or a dog. And there's a good chance there will be times where I'll have to watch my sister's dog when she moves. So all in all, I want to have a place that will allow me the flexibility to change what I do with that. Or both. I can have a cat and a dog, living in peace and harmony. But that's the main focus, of course. While I'm over there, I'll probably, I already made plans to buy some bagels. I'll probably stop at the other grocery store I like to go to, Sahadi's, and I'm not going to go all out there because, who knows how long I'm actually going to be at the current spot. But for now, it'll be a good time to stock up on some short-term snacks and other goodies. It's always a good time to go in the Brooklyn Heights area. Sorry. Tired because not only did I wake up a little bit earlier today, but on top of that, it's daylight saving day. It's the day we all spring forward and wish that time travel never existed. It's certainly the worst day of the year when it comes to time. Everyone loves it in the fall when we fall back and you get that extra hour, but it's not worth it in the end, at least in my opinion. I'd rather this be the last time we spring forward, and I know a lot of other people feel the same way. It's very unpopular, and I know there's historical significance to why we do it. If I remember correctly, it's all about the farmers and giving them extra time, but I'm hopeful. Fingers crossed, again, I'm always getting my hopes up about this, that I know I've seen in the news that there's been legislation put out there to make it so we stay on this time forever, or at least until some other doofus decides to make changes to the time. I would welcome that wholeheartedly. I even remember there was a time, probably, want to say 2 years ago, where I think I saw a Trump tweet where he said something to the effect of we should stop daylight saving time. And, I thought even a broken clock is right twice a day. But, of course, nothing happened with that. Nothing has ever happened to stop daylight savings time except, I believe, World War. I think that's the only time that, since it started, that it's been put on hold. But I would greatly welcome a change. Just, this is the shortest weekend of the year. Technically time is made up and the time of the day hasn't changed, but the time I have to sign into work tomorrow is one day earlier or 1 hour earlier than it would have been. So who's laughing now? No one's laughing now because you have to wake up early. No one likes that. Even if you're a person who wakes up early, this is not fun. But enough about me. How are you doing? It's been a while. I don't know if you can hear that wind. It is really coming from the east to west wind. It's pushing me over the bridge, which is nice for a change. Usually it's blowing in the other direction, and I have to turn my hat backwards to avoid it flying into the river. But so far so good. Staying up. It's a beautiful day, aside from the wind. Probably high 40s, low 50s, sunny and partly cloudy. Great day to come out for a walk. I'm only wearing a sweatshirt now, but it definitely feels like I can take it off, which I won't. I'll keep it on for now. But I'm really upset that my favorite fleece is no more. This was a fleece I got for free from my first job out of college. Unified/Wild Type. Always had an identity crisis while I was there. It was a very nice fleece, zippy, all the way zip. I don't like these quarter half zips. Give me the whole zip. Whew. And I loved wearing that. I wore it for about 5 years. Super comfy, fit really well, had a lot of pockets. It was just a nice thing to wear when it was like 50 degrees out. Too cold for just usually a regular sweatshirt, and definitely too warm for a jacket. Maybe I need to invest in a nice light windbreaker jacket now. Maybe that's the sign that it's time to redo my wardrobe a little bit. But that'll certainly be missed. I was walking the day it happened. It was earlier this year, January, on like a 50. It's like a 50-degree day in January, like one of those really hot days. It was that week I had off, and you weren't there, so I wasn't recording then, but I took a week off in January because I needed it. And my goal that week was to walk. This was New Year's. This is like January 2nd or something like that. There's a different week I took off in January where I pledged to walk 100 miles in 9 days and didn't exactly hit the goal, unfortunately. Probably because I hurt myself in a few different ways, which walking as much as I do, it's bound to happen. Let this go. I was walking to College Point, Queens that day because there was a deli I wanted to go to. Walking 13 miles in one direction just to go to a deli, sure. But this had been talked up by Mets players, and ever the curious one to try talked up places, I thought it was worth a quest. And I got a decent chicken cutlet sandwich when I went there. It would have been nice to have a table to eat it at or eat it with company, but it was just me at like 3 o'clock. Wait a minute. And probably around maybe 2 o'clock, like a half hour before I actually got to the deli, I was getting a little chilly, so I tried to zip up the fleece, and the zipper, not the zipper part, but like the tread on the other side of the fleece, it became detached from the actual fleece, so it was like just floating and I couldn't zip up. as hard as I tried. So I walked the rest of the time with an open fleece, which as it got later and the sun went down and got cold, so that wasn't too fun. But I think I got in like 20 something miles that day. I almost did the whole round trip. I was really hoping I could make it to the Roosevelt tram. Well, first I'd have to go to Roosevelt Island and then go to the tram, which I almost did. If the sun hadn't set at like 4:30, I might have. But the sun was too late. It was dark, cold. I was real tired. So I got on the subway around Astoria. So didn't make it the whole. That probably would have put me to my first 26.2. I've yet to actually walk a marathon. I've been joking that I've been walking marathons since COVID started, but I haven't actually hit 26.2. I've gotten, I think the highest is somewhere like 22, 23 tops. Haven't actually hit the 26. Well, I'll get there one day. But for now, I'll just be, I think, it takes maybe 13 miles before I really start to get tired. Maybe 15 tops. That's when my feet could start hurting. But I'm just taking a picture to post on Instagram later. I'm gonna try to keep up with posting on there for this podcast. I know all my faithful fans out there follow at Jacob Walks Over. Unfortunately, Jacob Walks was taken. Jacob Walks Over Bridge would have been too long, so I stuck with just Jacob Walks Over. Well, I guess for now, except for that one nautical episode, I've just been walking over bridges, but hey, you never know. I'll do an episode where I walk over something else. But it's nice to get back out. I took at least a month off from walking over bridges and doing long walks in general because I hurt my knee like day 3 of that week. I was trying to walk 100 miles, where I ended up after the first day when I walked to Coney Island, which was a trek. I probably won't do that again unless I have a good reason to. But I did that. That was like 20 something miles. And then by the end I really hurt something in my left leg. And then the next day, instead of taking a rest day like I should have, I went, walked another about 18, 20 miles to Queens. Went to the Queens Museum. Went to Corona Park. Walked around there. Got some Thai food, which ended up being like 2 miles away from where I was in the park. So I did a lot of walking that day. Still, my leg hurt. And then the next Monday then, which I guess was my MLK Day, which I think that's why I took that week off, because I wanted to, not only did I need it, but it was nice to piggyback on the one day off to take the next 4. So it looks like you only have 4 days off in the system instead of 5. Gaming the system. I'm not really, because my company has unlimited time off, so I'm not really saving time necessarily, but it looks better, I guess. There's a whole lot of politics and stuff involved surrounding that. But what I ended up doing that Monday was walk to, which was relatively a shorter walk. I just walked to Union Square, or Herald Square, to meet a friend for lunch. And didn't really do that much crazy walking, but somehow that was the day that I hurt my knee, just from walking, not doing anything crazy. Wasn't jumping over anything, wasn't going up or down stairs. It just started to hurt. My left leg started to feel fine, but it was the right knee that really was like, what's going on here? And that hurt for a couple weeks, at least three weeks. That was super annoying, because I had hurt my knees maybe, probably a year ago, January. where I was playing racquetball, and I was having a really bad game. I wasn't playing very well at all, and that meant I was trying to do more than I should to try to get back into it. And there was one play where, probably the worst series of, one of the worst, I'll preface one, because I've had my fair share of bad athletic experiences. You know, when you get airlifted to the hospital, that's generally a sign you might have some some fine motor skill issues. But I went to hit the racquetball off the back wall to try to save a shot, you know, because I wasn't going to catch up to it, because I was further up the court. My only play was to try to hit the ball against the back wall to get it to hit the front wall again. And not only did I hit the ball into myself, but I crashed into the wall. Oh, sorry, I'll gotta wait for this to go. You should hear the rest of this story. Like the subways are always running when you need them the least. Okay, so I hit the ball against the back wall. Not only did I hit it into myself, so I hit myself with the ball, but then I crashed into the wall. Then I dropped to the floor knees first. And I don't know, you see people do that in TV and movies, and they seem no worse for wear if they drop to their knees. But I dropped right on my kneecaps, and that was probably the first time that happened to me, and oh man, that hurt. And of course, I played even worse after that. But beside that, my knees hurt for about a week after that. It was probably just a contusion. Just hit it hard, and it was my first ever knee injuries, plural. Both of them hurt. So I had to fall on both of them. But that was bad. But then when I hurt my right knee from just walking, overuse, I guess, the knee felt in a similar way to when I fell on it, which was not necessarily concerning, but it was not the sort of deja vu moment I was looking for. But I think, and then I took a day or two off after that, and then I said screw it, and then I walked 20 miles more on Friday to go to both Queens and Brooklyn in the same trip. That was fun, including getting garlic knot pizza, which was not as great as I thought it might have been. I mean, the garlic knots were okay; they were on the crust, but instead of regular crust, it was garlic knots. You see a gimmick like that from Papa John's all the time, but you don't often see that from a legit pizzeria. So thought it was worth a shot. And it was nice, but just made it awkward to hold, because I'm a folder guy. If I get a slice of pizza, I'm folding it. That's the mature way, the mature New York way to eat a slice of pizza. But having garlic knots on there just made it a little difficult. And with that, I've made it to the end of the bridge. As always, this was a blast. And I'm sure this won't be the last you hear of me. So, here's to a wonderful, adventurous Season 3. And as I always say, good day and good night.